Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 1. We present Corruption Perception Index in 2002. Corruption Perception Index is a global measure of corruption perception in the public sector. So Malaysia is ranked in 61st out of 180 countries, where CPI score of 47, which is a 6-point drop from 2019 to 2022. This rank indicate that strong institutions and democracies at the top, and the weak institution where restriction on freedom of speech is at the bottom. The objective of this project is we want to evaluate Malaysia's position, where we want to assess Malaysia's standing in the Corruption Perception Index. The next one, we want to highlight the key issue, where we want to identify and emphasize critical issues related to the corruption in Malaysia. The next one, we want to explore measurement criteria, that we want to examine the measurement used in computing the CPI. The next one, we want to compare Malaysia's CPI score with others Asian countries. The next one, we want to address political will and institutional reform. And the last one, we want to provide recommendation based on the report's finding.
Next, the critical problems and solutions. When it comes to the articles that we have referred, we have highlighted some issues, and also we tried to implement some solutions that we can eliminate the corruption in Malaysia. The first issue is some of the Malaysian judicial system is not as fair or independent as it should be, because you see like some corrupted person, people, they can go to the judicial system and they can do whatever they want in order to be free. So this is because sentencing decisions by the judges were easily influenced by the offenders, social, political positions, and the power and personal characteristics, which leads continuation of corruption. If we want to eliminate the corruption, we have to establish judicial system which can prevent corruption as easily as they can. The solution, it can be, in order to eliminate the corruption, Malaysian government should increase their transparency and accountability. Because if you refer to some corrupted person as political power, and then you eliminate the sentence, that will bring injustice, and the corruption will continue as much as you do that bad thing. So Malaysian government, they should increase their transparency and accountability. They have to make some transparency for the political powers, for different people, in order to be safe side and justice, inshallah. And also they have to make legal reforms in order to also to eliminate the corruption, and judiciary training. In order to eliminate the corruption, you have to have like good system that you have trained already, that will eliminate the power of corruption.
Now let's look at the problems I found. Estimates for Malaysians' financial damage due to corruption, particularly 1% to 2% of GDP, or 10 billion per year, are considered to be an optimistic figure and may not entirely indicate the real effect of corruption on the economy. In Dr Riasat's report published in 2023, Malaysia's monetary loss to corruption and leakage. In this article, I found that the corruption has cost Malaysian 4.5 ringgit trillions over the past 26 years. This figure is based on a conservative estimate of the cost of the corruption, which is 2% of the GDP per year. The author argues that the actual cost of the corruption is likely much higher, due to the investment multiply effect and the many indirect costs of corruption that are difficult to measure. So my solution is harsher punishment. set up harsher punishment for corruption related offense such as larger fines and asset forfeiture. This will make some people consider that consequence when they commit corruption. In other words, you will be subject to greater penalties.
Assalamu alaikum. I would like to add on three issues being discussed in our report. Another issue that has been highlighted in our report is the lack of political will in Malaysia to fight corruption. So basically, we can see that most public officials or politicians in Malaysia lack political will to fight corruption in the country. There are cases showing evidence of this issue, such as the appointment of unqualified officials to head government-linked companies. And also, we can see that the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission has not been given its full autonomy to carry out investigations. This is because most of their investigations involve political interference, and officials who have been convicted of corruption are mostly freed as a result of this. We can also see that there has been slow progress on reforming the Whistleblower Act, which has led to a decline in the number of reported corruption cases across the country. So, to overcome this issue, we have come up with some solutions, which include number one, the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission should be given its full autonomy to carry out its investigations. Hence, its investigations must be carried out without any political interference from either politicians or public officials. Another solution is that there must be quick reforms to the Whistleblower Act of 2010. This will increase the number of reported corruption cases in the country. And the last one is that it must be made mandatory for public officials to declare their assets from time to time. So in declaring their assets, the public officials would make the public to gain trust in them, which would also reduce the number of corruption in the country.
The article, Macroeconomic Variables and Corruption in Malaysia, delved into the intricate relationship between the macroeconomic indicators and corruption in the Malaysian context. The study aims to investigate the impact of government spending, human capital, investment, and trade openness on corruption using time series data from 1994 to 2016. The research reveals that human capital and trade openness were significantly related to corruption in Malaysia, while government spending and investment didn't necessarily influence changes in corruption. The problem itself lies in the human capital. A low quality of education can lead to higher corruption, as individuals with inadequate skills and knowledge may seek to obtain high-level professions through bribery. This was highlighted by Ramai Thyssen in 2008 in his study, which found that those lacking in skills and knowledge are more likely to engage in bribery to compensate for their deficiencies. Individuals with less education are more likely to be unaware of anti-corruption laws and regulations, making them susceptible to engaging in corruption practices. According to Groff and Mehkop in 2014, they found that corruption is more prevalent among individuals with high level of illiteracy, as they are less informed about anti-corruption initiatives and the consequences of corruption. The solution to reduce or curb corruption are through, first, recruitment or screening. This is by implementing stricter and thorough screening techniques for the background or prospective police officer to reduce the likelihood of corruption. This includes assessing not only criminal history but also integrity demands effectively and their level of education. And secondly, training and education. By continuously training and education for law enforcement officers to strengthen their integrity and professionalism. This is crucial in maintaining the credibility of enforcement officers and ensuring their ability to uphold the law and order in society.
The conclusion is, despite anti-corruption effort, Malaysia faced persistent corruption challenge. We also call the need for in-depth research on anti-corruption initiative. We also stress the immeasurable economic costs of corruption in Malaysia. Then we identified challenges like unequal application of penalties, lack of transparency, and institutional shortcomings. We also highlight the negative impact on political, social, and also economic sectors. And last but not least, we conclude with a call for comprehensive reforms addressing root causes, emphasizing transparency, accountability, and also sustainable development.